Welcome, trainers, to the PokeSphere. We're your destination for in-depth Pokemon news, community discussions, and editorial content. We're passionate about this franchise, and we're here to share our insights and connect with fellow fans. So let's talk Pokemon. So we're recording this hot on the heels of this week's Nintendo Direct, or Nintendo Presents, where we got treated to a bunch of different games, but we're going to be focusing today on Pokemon in general. So we got some updates on Pokemon ZA, and we also got a little bit of news on a brand new game coming out for the Nintendo Switch 2, I believe. The first game we're going to discuss is Pokopia, which lets you play as a transformed Ditto that has taken the shape of a player character. Actually, I believe it's the Ditto's trainer. And in this game, you effectively use the aid of Pokemon that you find to build out a village. I'm going to be the first one to turn around and say this right before we even jump into this particular one. This, for me, I hate it. And it's not because I don't think it's a great idea. I hate it because of the current issue going on with Nintendo and Pocket Pair. And this feels very derivative of what Pocket Pair is being sued for, where they're talking about game mechanics and whatnot. And here comes Pokemon with a game where you use Pokemon to help build the base, just like you would use pals to build the base for them. And so automatically soured me to this game. Like, it looks like a fun game, it looks like a great game. However, it just, there's a lot going on here that I don't know, for me, like it was just like what the hell, Nintendo. But that's my initial take off of this, and I just wanted to get that out of the way because I know people are going to be asking about that, and yeah, I'm not thrilled with it.
Yeah, I definitely gotta agree that they're pulling something like this after like all the allegations and stuff for the with Pocket Pair, or with the with the case against Pocket Pair. So it's just kind of weird to see, but I just don't know, like, if a company were to strike, like bring up a case against them, like I don't know which company it would be in this case because of like how it works.
Yeah, I don't really agree with what Nintendo trying to do, but I guess Nintendo's just gonna do whatever they feel like about it. So
Truth. All of that said, we'll get into the actual meat of the game itself, which it's kind of cool that you summon Pokemon and then you can learn, looks like you can learn moves from different Pokemon and find new Pokemon that you can get used to build more stuff, which is kind of cool. I got to admit, the concept of using a Ditto as a player and then that Ditto utilizing the power of the different Pokemon.
Yeah, I get that being. Yeah, I'm also going to input hey, get the finally play as a Ditto, and Ditto's role in the games in majority of the time is yeah, not gonna delve into it, but if you know, you know.
yeah, I think that it's pretty cool. I was not expecting to see a what they call it, Pokemon meets Minecraft or Animal Crossing for this type of game. So it looks real good, and then you can play with other people too, which is fun.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
I am also glad that it's not locked to Gen 1 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious how big the games can be though.
I mean, it's definitely Pokemon meets Minecraft, and the bitterness of what's going on legally aside. This has been a fun game. Definitely a fun franchise. Had to come out 20 years ago. 20 years ago even, just because of the fact that you've got the ability of using Pokemon with their abilities to generate new areas, Pokemon, build out things. And I did notice that there was a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon. I'm like, oh man, is this all Kanto? But then they started introducing some of the other Pokemon, so yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. Idea wise, I think it's great. I think it's far past time that Pokemon dropped a game like this. And I mean, I guess as far as execution goes, for me, like, I'm not entirely sure how I want to roll with this, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I like the way how they present it and like something brand new, to play, not just the same thing that they've been like trying to do for a spin-off. And this is like, it's gonna be a lot of fun to play though. I like how they use Ditto to make it learn the moves. Remind me of Legend of Zelda, the Echo of Wisdom, where you can learn like new stuff and then make the island as you see fit. Once I start building stuff, and then I should talk about like notice though. I'm glad they're getting more than just Gen 1 Pokemon though.
Yeah, so the fact that you're playing as a Ditto is really nice as well, because like you as the Pokemon, right? The fact that you can communicate with these other Pokemon is actually pretty neat. Like you see in the trailer, like you encounter the Bulbasaur, and then you see it, like, you know, you can understand it, which is really nice. Like that's a very nice feature that they implemented into the game. I do want to know if they're gonna drop. I'm sure they will drop more information, but I do want to know like how it's gonna work with like different types of Pokemon, right? Like of the same typing, because like it shows like what's one Squirtle. You have a Squirtle, and then you use like Water Gun to like water like the unaliving little bush patches, right, or grass patches. So it kind of makes me wonder, because you know you do see like the Vaporeon in the video, or the Poliwag, and then I think there was like a Ludicolo. I feel like the Ludicolo might have something to do with Rain Dance, maybe because of how it was like raining during that scene. But like, yeah, so like if I get like a Poliwag or a Vaporeon, is it just gonna be like another Water Gun situation, but just with a different Pokemon? So I do wonder how they're gonna go about stuff like that. I thought the best and funniest thing I saw was the fact that there was a Hitmonchan, and you can throw hands. I'm gonna use that just to throw hands every now and then for no apparent reason, even if it's not to like destroy stuff.
There's a lot of things that they could be going with this, but I just, I just have to echo the fact that it feels like this coming on the heels of what's going on right now in the court systems. I think it's just a little disingenuous of Nintendo for dropping this game now of all times. Although surprising, I'm really surprised that Koei Tecmo is actually getting the chance to build out this game, it's actually something that I've realized that, you know, between Bandai Namco and Koei Tecmo, Game Freak's starting to license out games to other companies, and they're actually dropping some decent stuff, and I'm kind of glad for that. And it doesn't look like they're hand-holding too much on the topic, as long as you keep to the structure of what Pokemon games have been. So I mean, as far as the concept goes, I'm on it, but I'm at the same time, from an investor point of view, I kind of want to see where this goes, where Game Freak is allowing other companies to touch the property, to see what they can come up with. Maybe, you know, the birth of a new style of gaming for the Pokemon company, which honestly, there's in the last video that we dropped, there were a couple of suggestions that we caught that a couple friends of mine and I were kicking around. So if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. Also, be sure to share, like, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. We want to hear your comments, questions, and also remember, we are on Blue Sky, we're on X, we are on Rumble and YouTube, as well as we have our own Discord. So come check us out, and we're going to keep moving on to the next part, which is the Pokemon Legends ZA trailer.
One bit of input before the ZA trailer starts, though. Nothing wrong with the fact that, you know, like, this is another game that Koei Tecmo is helping with, but I'm surprised that they didn't do Pokemon, I'm surprised like Pokemon Works didn't have a hand in this game, honestly, because, you know, like, I think everybody was saying like Pokemon Works will probably like work on anything that's like not mainland game. So I'm a little bit surprised about that, but because right now,
most likely anything coming out of Pokemon Works won't be out for a little bit. I mean, we get to see the Switch 2 graphics for Pokemon Legends ZA, and don't get me wrong, it looks absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. But then they show the Gen 7 starters, then they threw a complete and total curveball and just low-key drop some info.
You mean Gen 6?
Yeah, this is Gen 6. Like, they just low-key drop info on Gen 7 or Gen 6 starters. And it's like, oh, hey, by the way, Mega Evolutions. I'm just like, oh, come on.
I just really hate the fact that the Greninja's upside down. I swear, it better not be upside down the entire time it's in battle. I hate it so much.
If it is, it better be a flying type.
Oh, man.
And then do a quick show off of all the different Mega Evolutions that we've had. I mean, I have a question with the ending where you see Zygarde, what is that, 10% form, pulling the cores, and this is right after all of the Mega Evolutions hit. Part of me wonders if Zygarde's going to get a Mega Evolution on this one. I mean,
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get all you have to be 100%, you have to get that transformation, and then Mega Evolution into something even more gargantuan. I don't know. I could see it. But yeah, they low-key just kind of went, they showed off more of the game. You see more of the Pokemon coming along. You see how you can catch Pokemon that are standing on lampposts, which is kind of neat. I don't think they've done that one before. So they're definitely pushing the limits of what started in ZA what started with Pokemon Legends Arceus to ZA, and definitely I'm glad to see it, because now you're getting more immersion out of that, because Pokemon aren't going to always, like bird Pokemon, bat Pokemon aren't going to land on the ground. They're going to stay in a branch. They're going to land on something where they feel safe. And the fact that you have the birds chilling on the lamp posts, and you can just catch them, I think that's a nice, interesting push. I think that's a definite positive and a move in the right direction for immersion. And just how they just low-key, just like, oh yeah, by the way, here are your starters from Gen 7. Don't they look cool? Oh, hey, there's a Mega Ring. Oh, hey, look, Mega Evolutions. All right, cool, you've seen them. All right, moving on. Wait, what? Hold up.
Like I said it earlier, I'm gonna really hate him. Not really hate, but I'm gonna really dislike the fact that if Mega Greninja is upside down most of the time when it's in its Mega form, I'm gonna really dislike that, because it's kind of annoying. I'd rather see it flying and like using the Ninja Star as like some kind of hoverboard or something, instead of it being upside down and using it as a hoverboard, like that would be a lot better. The starter Megas are really awesome, honestly, though. Like they do look great. I think hands down, I think Chestnut's looks the best. The Delphox one is actually pretty good, though. I kind of wish it was not riding the broom, like standing on it like a surfboard. It would have been nice if it still followed the witch motif a little bit and it was just like sitting on it, but that's fine. It's still pretty good. And then yeah, the Greninja is actually pretty cool. When you take a look at its little details, it's got like facial additions to it. Kind of gives it like this cool sleek look. I'm not disappointed at all with them.
Yeah, I'm liking this last trailer they show us for ZA, and everything looks very good. So to see the Kalos getting the mega evolution, to see all the other mega evolution that we've seen so far too, which is pretty nice.
I have to just add, I'm enjoying the fact that they are adding new megas, because that definitely was a popular gimmick that they introduced, and it was really disheartening to see them stop it. So revisiting Kalos and getting more megas is amazing, especially since I always did feel like the original starters got the shaft on that. Then we get to the last bit of information for Pokemon, where you start off with Hoopa, which was a surprise.
Oh, great seeing Hooper there.
So here is where we get a quick splash of 2 new megas on top of the 3 we've already gotten for this presents, and it is Raichu. And you not only get a choice, not only do you get 1 mega, but you actually get 2, a Mega Raichu X and a Mega Raichu Y. And I'm gonna hold my comments for last.
I was not expecting to drop the DLC just yet, like the announcement, but I guess that's a surprise to everybody, and I'm actually glad Raichu's getting 2 Mega Evolution, which is gonna be really good. Because one they look like Raichu, and the other one's gonna be like just a Raichu. So with the different form as well. It's gonna be paid DLC. That means we'll get more Mega Evolution along the way.
I definitely gotta say, like we discussed earlier before, like when we first got together today, I'm okay with the fact that that they announced this, but I'm also kind of like mad that they announced it today or at the time as well, because like I feel like this is something they could have released later down the line, maybe like even like a month after, or something they could have announced even like a month after the game came out. But that's fine, I guess. It's whatever. But yeah, I feel like this is something they could have done like a month later, and not include into this direct as well. Or maybe they could have just teased it in a different way without actually showing like the DLC name, and then just showing the fact that it is paid DLC.
Where do I start? Where do I start? So Pokemon Legends ZA is gonna come out to the tune of $60 for the Switch, $70 for the Switch 2. The fact that they're dropping the game and then announced paid DLC on the same day rubs me so far beyond the wrong way. It's not even funny. I saw DLC and I was right off the bat, I'm just like, wow, really? On day one, you're getting DLC? Okay. But then they said paid DLC. And I'm like, all right, first off, why is it paid DLC on launch day? And more importantly, why drop this on launch day? Give people a chance to play the main game. I agree with you, Guren. You know, they could have easily dropped this for October, made an announcement that something is coming in November, and very early December, right before Christmas, say, hey, here's some paid DLC. That would have given people time to enjoy the original game, the mainline game, and before they even get tired of the game, boom, DLC. Paid DLC.
They could have teased it. Like, they could have just teased the 2 Raichus, right? And then just and the Hoopa and the Raichu showing up. They could have just teased that, and then they didn't have to say it was DLC or something.
So not only is the mainline game going to be $60 and the Switch 2 version going to be $70, they're asking $30 for DLC on day one. So it's $90 to $100 if you want the complete game on day one. That hits me so wrong on so many levels. And this is an issue for me. The idea, solid idea. I do not like the fact that this is on day one. Mind you, there's a combo pack as well for the Switch 2. There's going to be a Pokemon bundle pack with ZA. And you'll get the Switch 2 with Pokemon ZA Switch 2 version. I hate this. I absolutely hate this. The fact that you're already shelling out so much money, and it's like, oh, hey, by the way, it literally would behoove you to, if you don't own a Switch 2 and you want to play ZA, to just buy the bundle pack and pay the extra $30 at that point, and you'd be paying about the same price as buying a Switch and Pokemon Legends ZA for Switch 2. But
it's available for Switch 1.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
It really sounds like it's just prep for holiday sales, if anything, right? Because it comes out in the middle of October, which is kind of the season where probably people start buying gifts anyway.
This is the one thing that this has just hit me the wrong way. That's really what it boils down to. It's just idea, great idea. Execution sucks. And that is honestly Nintendo's biggest problem right now. But that said, overall information that we got as far as game related has been great. You know, there's a lot of good stuff that Nintendo is doing, and I don't want to take away from that. I just think that their execution on what they showed us today, on what they showed us on that present, that's where I'm having my problems. And I'm trying to be positive about this direct, but at the same time, I have to be honest with our viewers. I'm not thrilled with how they chose to execute these ideas.
If you didn't hate Nintendo already, here's another reason.
How do you think I feel? I'm a shareholder.
I think the reason why they show everything I said, it's the last trailer, so they didn't just want to wait until in a month or two after the release to show it.
Yeah.
And it's coming out in a month too. So,
mind you, there real quick though, before I forget, on the DLC there is a bonus for getting the DLC. However, the final day to redeem this bonus is February 28th. So you've got 6 months or so.
Pokemon Day.
The day after Pokemon Day, actually, yeah. And the code is for 12 Pokeballs in 4 varieties: fastballs, heavy balls, level balls, and lure balls. If you decide to get the DLC, that's the early purchase bonus. But the early purchase gets you all the way to.
Well, yeah, hold on. So the male and the female, there's the X and Y version of the outfit we're getting for it too, by the way.
So actually, let me correct myself. You have till February 28th to purchase the DLC, and you can redeem the code up until March 10th, Mario Day. With that brings this episode to a close. What are your thoughts about the Pokemon Presents and the information that we were given as far as the Pokemon content related information went? Let us know down below. And as always, see you in the next video.